In a small town nestled between rolling hills and a shimmering river, there lived a man named Elias. He was a humble philosopher, known for his deep thoughts and gentle demeanor. Each morning, he would sit at the edge of the river, watching the water flow, pondering the intricate tapestry of life. To him, the river was more than just a body of water. It was a metaphor for existence itself, constantly moving, changing, and yet, in its essence, remaining the same. Elias believed that the philosophy of ethics was the compass guiding one through the tumultuous waters of life. To him, ethics was not merely a set of rules or guidelines. It was the very essence of human existence, the thread that wove together the fabric of society. He often reflected on the question of what it meant to live a good life, a question that had plagued thinkers for centuries. He understood that ethics was not a one-size-fits-all answer, but a complex interplay of individual values, cultural influences, and the circumstances one found oneself in. One day, as he sat by the river, a young woman named Mira approached him. She had heard of Elias's wisdom and sought his guidance. Mira was at a crossroads in her life, torn between pursuing a career that promised financial security and following her passion for art, which, though uncertain, filled her with joy. She expressed her dilemma, her voice tinged with desperation. Elias listened intently, nodding as she spoke. When she finished, he took a deep breath and began to share his thoughts. He spoke of the importance of understanding one's values, of recognizing what truly mattered in life. He explained that ethics could be seen through various lenses. Utilitarianism, which advocated for the greatest good for the greatest number. Deontology, which emphasized duty and adherence to moral rules. And virtue ethics, which focused on the character of the individual. Mira's eyes widened as Elias elaborated on each perspective. He encouraged her to reflect on her own values and what she believed constituted a good life. "Consider," he said, "what brings you joy and fulfillment. Is it the financial stability that a conventional career offers? Or is it the freedom and expression that come with pursuing your art? Each choice carries its own weight of responsibility and consequences." He shared a story from his own life, a time when he faced a similar choice. Years ago, he had been offered a prestigious position at a renowned university, a role that promised respect and financial security. Yet, he felt an inner turmoil, a dissonance between his aspirations and the rigid confines of academia. It was during that time that he discovered the importance of aligning his life with his values. He chose to forego the position and instead dedicated himself to teaching in the local community, where he could inspire others and engage in meaningful dialogue about ethics and philosophy. Mira listened, captivated by his narrative. "But what if my choice leads to failure?" she asked, her voice trembling with uncertainty. Elias smiled gently, understanding her fears. "Failure is not the opposite of success. It is part of the journey. Each choice you make will teach you something valuable. The key is to approach life with a mindset of growth and learning. Ethics is not about being right all the time. It's about striving to do what you believe is right, even in the face of uncertainty." As the sun began to dip below the horizon, casting a golden hue over the river, Elias urged Mira to consider the broader implications of her choices. He spoke of the interconnectedness of all beings, of how each decision rippled outward, affecting not just oneself, but the community and the world at large. When you create art, you are not just expressing yourself. You are contributing to the collective human experience. Your work may inspire, provoke thought, or bring joy to others. In that way, your passion holds ethical significance. Mira's heart swelled with newfound clarity. She realized that her art was not merely a personal pursuit, but a way to engage with the world, to challenge norms, and to connect with others on a deeper level. The fear that had once paralyzed her began to dissipate, replaced by a sense of purpose. She understood that ethics was not a rigid framework but a dynamic conversation, one that required introspection and a willingness to embrace the complexities of life. As they continued to talk, the stars began to twinkle in the night sky, illuminating the river's surface like scattered diamonds. Elias emphasized the importance of empathy in ethical decision-making. He explained that understanding the perspectives of others could lead to more compassionate choices. In every interaction, we have the opportunity to practice empathy. It allows us to see beyond our own desires and to consider the impact of our actions on those around us. Mira nodded, feeling the weight of his words. She realized that her journey was not just about her own happiness, but also about how her choices could uplift or diminish others. The philosophy of ethics, as Elias articulated, was a living dialogue, a constant negotiation between one's desires and the greater good. In the days that followed, Mira took Elias's teachings to heart. She began to create art that reflected her values, pieces that spoke to social issues and the human condition. She found joy in the process, knowing that each stroke of her brush was a step towards living an ethical life, one that resonated with her true self. Elias continued to sit by the river, watching the water flow, content in the knowledge that he had sparked a flame of understanding in Mira. He understood that the philosophy of ethics was not about providing answers, but about inspiring questions, encouraging individuals to embark on their own journeys of discovery. In that small town, by the river that mirrored the complexities of life, Elias and Mira became part of a larger narrative, one that celebrated the beauty of ethical living amidst the ever-changing currents of existence.